Hey y'all, what's up? Vanie 0295 coming at you today. And as you can tell, I'm obese. Yeah, I've gained since the last time I've been on camera. I've gained like maybe 40 pounds or so. So I don't know if you could tell. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been on. I think the last video I made was maybe in December. The last Instagram post I did was in January. I was in the hospital like 4 days. I was having difficulty breathing and my heart was like racing. And, I went into the hospital. And the first test that they ran was showing that something could have been wrong with my heart. But, because they have to run like a battery of tests. So all the other tests came back okay. But I was there for 4 days. So there was that. Then in February or later, I would say maybe a couple more weeks after that, Jaden went into the hospital. He had a seizure at school, y'all. He's never had seizure. Well, when his brain injury had just occurred and we got out of the hospital. He had myoclonic seizures, which weren't, like you just go like this. We didn't even really know it was seizures, but they said he would outgrow it, which he did. Like, I think it happened maybe for like a year. So before he, wasn't even anywhere closer to it had stopped, but it wasn't like a seizure. So in February, he had a seizure. And, I was teaching, and so my phone was off. But and I drove home. How did it go? I must have been home, but my phone was off at first. And when I turned it on, and then, they got, through to me. And they said that he had had a seizure. And if I wanted them to call the ambulance, they said that he looks like he's out of it, but do I want them to call the ambulance? I said yes. So by that time, it was maybe around 2 something. So when I got to the hospital, which, is close to me, I always make sure that I'm like close to a hospital just because of what had happened to him. And, he has brain injury, so you just never know. Anyways, when I got to the hospital, Jaden was basically dying again. It's just so traumatic to watch your kid. Like, he was having a seizure. They were cutting off his clothes. He wasn't breathing. They didn't know what was going. He just looked non-responsive. So it just put me in the frame of mind of flashback to when he was younger and all that stuff when he had gotten sick and went to the hospital. So anyways, it was just like, oh my God. And then at the same time, I had other stuff going on with me, which I will, reveal. Yeah. So yeah, that was bad. So they put him on life support again because he just wasn't coming out of the seizure, and then his breathing was. He had was stopped. His breathing was first slowing down, and then he stopped breathing. So they put him on life support. And luckily, later that night, he was, waking up, and he was trying to gag it up or pull it up and stuff like that. So they said they just wanted to keep it on him for precautions. But then eventually they took it off, and we were there for a few days. And so we were just like going crazy, like, for maybe like a month after that. My husband slept in his room just because we just didn't know if he was going to have a seizure again. So in the middle of that, y'all, you see how much weight I put on? Oh my gosh. Do I look fat, y'all? Anyways, I feel fat. I can hardly breathe. But anyways, so now I got really, really sick. I had to have nurse come to the house, and they had to hook me up on IV. They had to bore a hole in my stomach and pump medicine in my stomach, because y'all, and I forced on my dress, my little sexy dress, because I always was talking about weight. But y'all, can y'all see that? Yeah. Yeah, guys. So I am with child. And, you know, it's like I said, it's a big blessing. We actually tried. So I actually, you know, this whole thing of expanding our family, it slowed down because y'all, I have a 16-year-old, then Jaden is 7, and then now this, and with my age, you know, it's not ideal. But you know, we just had to roll with the punches. You know, when Jaden got sick, we didn't want to have another kid right away because we knew we had to give him 150, 200%. And now he's at the stage where I felt like, okay, we could, you know, try. And I didn't know if I was going to be pregnant. I could get pregnant, but, you know, I did. And where was I? Pregnancy brain. Yeah, so, you know, it's just been really hard. Like, I had hyperemesis. Now, hyperemesis gravidae. A lot of people, I hope I said it right, but, you know, a lot of people, you see them out and they can be jogging pregnant. They just, you know, and some people, you know, the extreme to where they're bleeding all the time and stuff. I didn't have that problem, but I could not keep anything down. And when I say anything, like nothing, then I started spitting, and then, like, y'all, it's just been really, really tough. When I say tough, like I said, I had to have nurses come to the house, and I got a ton of medicine after a while because that even wasn't working. But they were coming to the house, and they had bored a hole in my stomach, and we were pumping. I was walking around with a little fanny pack, and I was getting medicine pumped in my stomach to try to help with it. And of course, I dealt with it as, you know, that was like, it wasn't my first choice. But then, I was hospitalized again because I was so dehydrated. So, you know, we had tried some other medicine before and then it wasn't working. And then, you know, and so when that wasn't working, I eventually just pulled it up my stomach myself. I called, you know, them and they walked me through it or whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then last resort, I said, well, I was sick with Simone and I was sick with Jaden with the hyperemesis. So with Jaden, the suppositories at work, but I was later on in my pregnancy. I was like maybe, you know, 6 months or so, 6, 7 months. And the suppositories at work. So I tried the suppositories and that worked a little bit. So I was able to keep some food down. Right, but I don't know if you can see it, you know, and I'll be 6 months this week. And it's just too much, and it's too much weight for me because I was so tiny. And a lot of people didn't know from watching me on camera, unless when they saw me and they saw how small I was. So now the problem that I'm having, okay, y'all, is, okay, the hyperemesis went away, thank God. Even though I still kind of get nauseous, like the nauseous feeling didn't go away. So sometimes I can't really talk because I'm just so nauseous, you know, but I'm not really throwing up. I throw up like once every couple of weeks or so, which is better than all day, every day. As you can see, I'm spitting, which is the most disgusting thing in the world. But my issue right now that I'm having is that I had 2 big babies before, and because I was so tiny, my muscles like stretched out. Like, my muscles are destroyed in my stomach. So even though I was able to lose the weight and get like relatively flat stomach after my 2 kids, my muscles are destroyed. So I can't hold up this baby. And this baby is huge, y'all. Like, double. I have big. Well, Simone was 8'1". Jaden was 8'1", but I, you know, got induced and had him a week early. So he would have been bigger. And, week and a half, I think. And so this baby's even like so much bigger, and I wasn't even eating in the beginning. Pelvic, which causes a lot of pain, so I can't really walk around. So, you know, the only walking I'm doing right now is really just, you know, in the daytime. Myself lunch, my husband makes breakfast and dinner, and, you know, he does everything. Simone, you know, she cleans her room and her bathroom. But my husband, he does everything. Like, I'm so lucky, y'all. If y'all know my husband, like, I have one of the best husbands in the whole world, you know. And yeah, he's taking care of me right now. But um, next week, I believe Thursday or so, my mother-in-law from Jamaica is coming up, my husband's stepmom, and she's going to be here till after the baby. So I'm going to have help, which is a good thing because Jaden is going to be out of school next week. So next week, Friday. And I definitely cannot, in my state right now, take care of Jaden because he is a handful. But I've said so much. I'm boring y'all. But it's just been such a blessing because we really wanted this baby. And this is my first non-accident. Yeah, so, you know, it's just, you know, I can't really be too happy because there's so much stuff going on. But we really planned for this, and we're so blessed, you know. And so I know a lot of people, you know, even though it's been tough for us and our family the last several years, hopefully, you know, the upcoming years is going to be so much better. And, you know, just want to just come in and tell you guys that I'm alive. I don't know if I can, you know, make videos and so forth because y'all see I'm out of breath. And, yeah, that's it.